I'm curious about this empty string situation. Let's take the website out. And go back over here. And let's explicitly search for gonna do equals here. So this is to test if we get a well, the documentation says we cannot pass the keys. The keys can't be null or duplicates, and the values can't be null or empty strings. So let's find out if empty string. Let's find out if that's true. So I'm going to try to pass an empty string here. I should get a result back because foo account has a blank website, but I don't know if that's gonna work or not. Oh, hey, McMontage is back. I don't know if you're still here. Let's see. You are here. Yes. Hey, cool. What are we building today? I'm trying to find stuff in the spring release to break. So we're taking a look at there's this new dynamically pass bind variables to SOQL queries that is cool and solves a lot of headache. And now I'm just curious, like, what can we actually pass to the thing? And some of the documentation says we can't pass nulls or empty strings, so we're going to find out if that's really true. I have no reason to believe it's not true, but mostly just curious. So let's see if this. So interesting. That did come back, and passing an empty string for one of the bind parameters did work. Now let's actually fill that field and see if it comes back. Well, that should be. Well, I guess that's a good question. Will it interpret? Maybe it only returned it because it interpreted it as not being there. Whereas if we now have a value, I wouldn't expect a result back, but I'm curious if it maybe returns a result. No, it doesn't. Okay. So it seems like, it seems like that works. Now it also says we can't pass a null. Well, let's see if we can break that. Always breaking stuff. Let's see. So we're going to pass null account website, and what do we get? Well, it let me pass it. It didn't return. Okay. It didn't return anything, which I expected because our website does have a value. Let's take the value away. And try it again. Passing null. The field is empty. I don't know how it's going to interpret that. Well, hey, it did. It did return a value. So, all right, let's recap. We passed. We have an account record. We passed an empty string for the website as a dynamic bind value, and it returned the record. Let's double check that. All right, here's empty string. Let's run it again. Came back. Okay. We pass null. Run it again. Still returned it. So, okay. So maybe this is up for debate a little bit. So the documentation says the values can't be null or empty string. We did just test that. It seems like it's cool with having a null or an empty string there and seems to interpret them both the same. So, but there you have it. So there's bind parameters, and I think the other thing to keep in mind is you have to pass an access level if you're going to use that. But this is a nice way to bring your parameters in dynamically along with your SOQL already dynamic, so you don't have to have the parameters in the same scope as where the SOQL exists, which probably will make it a little bit more if you're a Salesforce developer, you've probably written some wrapper class that makes for dynamic SOQL life easier. And maybe this query with binds you can now bring back to those classes and tidy them up a little bit to handle dynamic binding. And I don't know, your mileage may vary. Seems like you can pass null and empty string values. So there you have it.